Hello everyone, and welcome to Retail Archaeology. In today's episode, we'll be doing a little bit of exploring down Main Street in Mesa and Tempe, Arizona. Our first stop is, or was, Sullivans Pier seafood restaurant in Mesa, Arizona. Now this is located on Gilbert and Main Street, and it's right at the end of the latest leg of the light rail system that they've added. And as you can see from the posts and stuff there, they've really gone into the pier theming very heavily. As far as I know, this restaurant's been abandoned for about 10 years now. I found a real estate listing from 2010, and that looks like it was created right after Sullivans Pier moved out. And as you can see, there is a lot of wear and tear on this building. The paint is peeling all over the place. It's in pretty bad shape. I'm sure they're going to have a hard time leasing it out now. I also found during my research that this building was opened in 1975, and Sullivans Pier is definitely not the first tenant in here. I was also able to find some minutes from a 1996 city council meeting, and it looks like somebody was applying to have their liquor license moved to this spot, and the restaurant that was moving it was called Sorrento's Italian Kitchen, which I think I remember from my childhood. So I guess I do have a little bit of a connection to this building. I'm not sure when Sullivans Pier moved in. Now, looking inside the building itself, it does look like it's in pretty decent shape. It looks really like it's just the outside that's torn up the most. But yeah, you can see the, fishing pier theming is really carried on into the building as well. Let's do a little poking around down the side of the building and stuff, and you can get a nice little shot of my pickup truck there. But as we continue on down, we start to find something that I was expecting to find as we got further down here, because this whole shopping center is kind of weird now. It's not really dead, it's almost kind of zombie. Half the stuff is closed, and some of it's now become offices. There's another shot inside. Yeah, it really does look pretty clean in there. I guess if you fix up the outside of the building, somebody could move in here pretty easily. But yeah, as we continue on down, we'll start to find some sleeping bags and things, and it looks like a little homeless camp was set up here, and I kind of expected to find this here. This is a good spot for that kind of thing because it's far away from the main street and kind of secluded here. But you can see a couple of bedrolls laying there. It also smelled heavily of urine back here, so that was not pleasant. I like the lights hanging in there, the little hanging outdoor lights. Those are pretty cool. Very old school. And I was going to pick through this notebook to see if there's any crazy ramblings in there, but I didn't feel like touching anything. Now here's a shot of the back, and this place had a drive-through window, and we can see some of the drive-through menu is actually still up. This kind of looks like your standard fish and chips place. There's a few of these in Mesa. There's Pete's Fish and Chips, which has been around for ages. If you're familiar with Mesa, Arizona, I'm sure you know Pete's. This place was around for a while too. I remember driving past it a lot many years ago, and it looked fairly busy, so I wonder what happened. Let's go ahead and take a look at the utility area here in the back. And I like to just kind of peek through here and see if there's signs of copper theft or homeless people camping out. It looks like there has been some copper theft. There's things ripped out, and the electrical box panels are all open. With this place having been empty for about 10 years now, and other things that have been kind of torn down in the area, I have a feeling this building isn't long for this world, which is why I wanted to film it. I've driven past it tons of times, and the day that we were filming this, Mark and I decided we just wanted to go down Main Street and explore and see if we could find anything interesting, and this was our first stop as we continue on down. Also, like I mentioned, the latest leg of the light rail system had just opened up. You can see the station there in the background with the little blue and green awning things there. So I wanted to see, what this looked like now that was all open, because the construction really seemed to take its toll on this area. A lot of things did not survive the construction time. It's pretty safe to say that the light rail project didn't kill this restaurant. Something else killed this, obviously. It's just kind of sad to see it go, because this building's, I don't want to call it iconic in Mesa, but if you're familiar with Mesa at all, I'm sure you've driven past this building and noticed the little pier thing they have set up and everything. Maybe the light rail will be able to revitalize this, and something else will be able to open up here. But it's been my experience, and as we'll see through the video, that the light rail really has not helped the local economy here. What seems to happen is they start construction of each leg. It really doesn't number on the surrounding businesses that aren't able to get as much traffic because of the construction. Now, the next place we're going to look at is a KFC location, and unfortunately my video footage was corrupted, so all I have is pictures, but this is just right down the street. I'm not sure how long this location has been closed, but I don't think it's been empty nearly as long as Sullivans Pier that we just looked at, but there is a massive amount of vandalism here, as you can see. There's a lot of broken windows, tagging. Buildings like this, though, are becoming more and more of a common sight down Main Street, through Mesa and down into Tempe. Now we're going to take a look at stuff a little bit further down Main Street. It actually becomes Apache Boulevard at this point when it gets into Tempe. This Devil's Liquor Store was not originally what we came to look at here. It was the building that you see there to the right with the really awesome painting on the side of the wall. But we noticed the way this kind of nasty liquor store was set up and the way the parking lot was, that there may be a good chance that we could maybe find some more interesting stuff back here. And it looks like we've found another little homeless camp, which is unfortunate. This is something else that I'm seeing a lot more of pop up and down Main Street. And things like this as well. That looks like it's a crack pipe sitting there. I wanted to poke around back here and film though, because I think it's important that people see this stuff. I want people to understand that things can look totally normal and safe and clean from the street, but if you just go in a little bit, you start to find things like this. And it looks like what they've done here is set themselves up a little space to kind of squat and drink and smoke crack, unfortunately. But you can see some empty beer cans and beer bottles. There's some articles of clothing, and unfortunately very strong urine odor again. But this is right outside of ASU, which a lot of people think is a very nice area. But like I said, if you just dig just below the surface, you'll find stuff like this. Some even more empty beer cans there. It looks like somebody had themselves a little one-person party on the curb. But this is what we actually came to look at. This is something else that Mark and I have driven past several times, and that mural there has always caught my eye. It's actually really bright and beautiful. I do enjoy it quite a bit. But what it's on is this place called the Dhaba Restaurant and Marketplace, which, from what I can tell doing internet research, this place was actually known as the India Plaza for many, many years. And if you look up pictures on Google Maps, that's what it says instead of the Dhaba. And then the Dhaba was just a restaurant, but it looks like they've now renamed the whole plaza. And there's a few little things here. There's a barber shop, there's a cafe and the Dhaba restaurant, as well as a little market, which we'll take a closer look at. All kinds of neat little things. And I just think the building looks really cool. Something I've always noticed. Now this is right outside the restaurant, the Dhaba, and this is a tandoori oven, which that's pretty cool. They have one out on display right out front, and they're kind of explaining, what it is and how it works. Unfortunately, the restaurant didn't seem to be open while we were here. Their hours were kind of strange. But this is the market that's attached to it as well, and you can see it's just kind of more like a little bodega. They've got some liquor, some food items, candy. What's strange is everything on the internet describes an Indian market being here, but this place is called Los Amigos Market, which seems more Hispanic to me than Indian, and that's kind of how it's laid out too, is kind of one of those Hispanic markets that you see in little neighborhoods. It's really nice and clean though. I do love these places. They do provide an important service. There would be a lot of places that would be complete food deserts if it wasn't for markets like this. Now, right outside the market, too, they have some neat little bikes. They're not really rickshaw bikes, I don't think, but they're obviously made to be like, little bike-powered taxis. Now, these seem way more Indian to me. So, again, it's very interesting that the market seems to be named, Hispanic, but it's in an Indian marketplace. I even like the artwork on the sidewalk there. That's really pretty. I'm definitely glad we finally stopped to check out this place and see what it was, though. Now right next to it there's another little shop, and again this one was closed. I'm not really sure why. The hour seemed kind of strange, but this seems to carry more traditional Indian and Eastern stuff. Would have been really neat to be able to actually poke around in there though. Now this plaza we're looking at was built in 1974, but I'm fairly certain it wasn't India Plaza originally. It was something else. I just can't figure out what. It looks like this may have become India Plaza sometime around 2003. I'm not sure when it changed to the Dhaba marketplace and restaurant though. Looks like this spot's empty. Wonder what used to be in there. Another interesting fact that I found out about this place though is this entire plaza is actually up for sale as of April, it looks like. I just found a recent listing for it. If you've got a little over $2 million laying around, this place could be yours. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed this random exploring video. Sometimes I like to just go out and see what kind of weird stuff I can find, so hopefully you found this all as interesting as I did. As always everyone, thanks for watching. Want to see your name here? Head on over to patreon.com/retailarchaeology to find out how you can help support the channel. Hey everyone, thanks for checking out this random exploring video. I have a lot of fun doing these from time to time. If you enjoyed it, make sure to hit those like and subscribe buttons, and also make sure to follow at the social media links down there because that's the best way to keep up with what's going on with the channel.